You're going to die broke if nothing changes. Not because you're bad with money, not because you don't make enough, but because the system is designed so that breaking the cycle requires doing the exact opposite of what feels right. And most people never figure out what that is. Hey, before we dive in, I gotta be clear about something. I'm not a financial advisor. Everything you're about to hear is purely educational content. Everyone trapped in paycheck to paycheck thinks the solution is making more money, get a better job, get a promotion, start a side hustle, make more, and the problem goes away. But that's the trap talking. That's the lie that keeps you stuck. Because if you're paycheck to paycheck on 50 grand, you'll be paycheck to paycheck on 75 grand too. The problem isn't income. The problem is that your expenses expand to match your income. Every time you make more, you spend more. The cycle continues. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's the reason most lottery winners go broke. It's the reason most people who get raises end up in the same financial position 6 months later. You make more, you spend more, nothing changes. So the first thing you need to understand is this. Breaking the cycle isn't about making more money. It's about spending less than you make, period. That's the only rule that matters. But spending less than you make is hard when everything costs more. When rent takes half your paycheck. When food costs double what it used to. When just existing requires constant payment. So how do you actually do it? You start small. You don't try to cut your spending in half overnight. That's unsustainable and you'll quit. You find one thing, one subscription you don't use, one habit that's costing you money, one small expense you can eliminate. You cut that. That's it. Maybe you save $50 a month. That $50 doesn't go into your regular bank account where you'll spend it. It goes somewhere else, a separate account, a high yield savings account, somewhere you can't touch it easily. Now you've got $50 working for you instead of against you. It's not much, but it's the beginning. Then next month you find another thing, another $50. Now you're at 100. You're building momentum. This is the opposite of what people try to do. People try to overhaul their entire life at once. New budget, new spending habits, new everything. And it fails because it's too much at once. But cutting one small thing, then another, that's sustainable. That's how you actually build a new financial life. Here's what happens psychologically. As you start cutting small things and moving money to savings, you start feeling like you're winning. You start seeing that account grow, even if it's slow, even if it's just $100. That momentum matters. That feeling of progress changes your behavior. You start looking for more things to cut. You start thinking differently about money. You start seeing opportunities you didn't see before. But here's the key thing. You can't let your income increase destroy this progress. You get a raise, $50 a month extra. Your instinct is to spend it. New shoes, better phone, going out more. But if you want to break the cycle, you do something different. You take that $50 raise and you move it to savings. Your paycheck feels the same as before. Your spending stays the same, but your savings just increase by $50 a month. Most people can't do this. They feel like they deserve to enjoy a raise, and they're right. But if you're paycheck to paycheck, enjoying the raise means staying paycheck to paycheck forever. This is the sacrifice. This is what separates people who break the cycle from people who stay stuck. You make a choice. You can have small improvements in lifestyle now, or you can have financial freedom later. You can't have both. The cycle exists because people keep choosing now. Once you've got a few $100s saved, things change. You start to have options. Your car breaks down and you don't panic because you've got money. An unexpected expense hits and you can handle it without going into debt. This is the foundation. This is what wealthy people have that poor people don't. Not more money. Options, the ability to handle life without borrowing. From here, the next step is creating a second income stream. Not a job, a second way money comes in, a skill you can sell, a side project, something that generates even a little bit of money. This doesn't have to be complicated. Doesn't have to be a business, just something where you create value and people pay you for it. Even if it's just $500 a month, that's huge when you're breaking the cycle. Because now you're not dependent on one paycheck. You've got two streams. If one gets cut off, you survive. If one slows down, the other keeps going. And all the money from that second stream, it goes to savings, not to spending. You don't let it increase your lifestyle. It just accelerates your escape. This is how you break the cycle, not through a giant income increase that disappears into higher costs, but through steady small wins that compound over time. Cutting expenses, saving the difference, getting raises without spending them, creating additional income. Never increasing your lifestyle, just letting your net worth slowly grow. It's boring, it's not exciting, but it works. And boring is what actually builds wealth. If you want to understand the actual steps to break free from paycheck to paycheck, the strategy that works instead of the shortcuts that don't, hit subscribe. Because most people will spend their entire life stuck in this cycle, but you don't have to be one of them.